al-Bukhari 277. Narrated Aisha. Whenever any one of us was junub, she poured water over her head thrice with both her hands and then rubbed the right side of her head with one hand and rubbed the left side of the head with the other hand. Sahih al-Bukhari 278. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, the people of Bani Israel used to take bath naked, all together, looking at each other. The Prophet, Moses, used to take a bath alone. They said, by Allah, nothing prevents Moses from taking a bath with us except that he has a scrotal hernia. So once Moses went out to take a bath and put his clothes over a stone, and then that stone ran away with his clothes. Moses followed that stone saying, my clothes, O stone! My clothes, O stone! Till the people of Bani Israel saw him and said, by Allah, Moses has got no defect in his body. Moses took his clothes and began to beat the stone. Abu Huraira added, by Allah, there are still 6 or 7 marks present on the stone from that excessive beating. Sahih al-Bukhari 279. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, when the Prophet Job was taking a bath naked, golden locusts began to fall on him. Job started collecting them in his clothes. His Lord addressed him, O Job, haven't I given you enough so that you are not in need of them? Job replied, yes, by your honor, power. But I cannot dispense with your blessings. Sahih al-Bukhari 280. Narrated Hani bint Abi Talib. I went to Allah's Messenger in the year of the conquest of Mecca and found him taking a bath while Fatima was screening him. The Prophet asked, who is it? I replied, I am Hani. Sahih al-Bukhari 281. Narrated Maymuna. I screened the Prophet while he was taking a bath of janaba. He washed his hands, poured water from his right hand over his left and washed his private parts. Then he rubbed his hand over a wall or the earth, and performed ablution similar to that for the prayer but did not wash his feet. Then he poured water over his body, shifted from that place, and washed his feet. Sahih al-Bukhari 282. Narrated Salama. The mother of the believers, Sulaim, the wife of Abu Talha, came to Allah's Messenger and said, O Allah's Messenger, verily Allah is not shy of telling you the truth. Is it necessary for a woman to take a bath after she has a wet dream, nocturnal sexual discharge? Allah's Messenger replied, yes, if she notices a discharge. Sahih al-Bukhari 283. Narrated Abu Huraira. The Prophet came across me in one of the streets of Medina, and at that time I was junub. So I slipped away from him and went to take a bath. On my return the Prophet said, O Abu Huraira, where have you been? I replied, I was junub, so I disliked to sit in your company. The Prophet said, Subhanallah, a believer never becomes impure. Sahih al-Bukhari 284. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet used to visit all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives at that time. Sahih al-Bukhari 285. Narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger came across me and I was junub. He took my hand and I went along with him till he sat down. I slipped away, went home and took a bath. When I came back, he was still sitting there. He then said to me, O Abu Huraira, where have you been? I told him about it. The Prophet said, Subhanallah. O Abu Huraira, a believer never becomes impure. Sahih al-Bukhari 286. Narrated Abu Salama. I asked Aisha, did the Prophet used to sleep while he was junub? She replied, yes, but he used to perform ablution before going to bed. Sahih al-Bukhari 287. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab. I asked Allah's Messenger, can any one of us sleep while he is junub? He replied, yes, if he performs ablution, he can sleep while he is junub. Sahih al-Bukhari 288. Narrated Aisha. Whenever the Prophet intended to sleep while he was junub, he used to wash his private parts and perform ablution like that for the prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 289. Narrated Abdullah. Umar asked the Prophet, "Can any one of us sleep while he is junub?" He replied, "Yes, if he performs ablution." Sahih al-Bukhari 290. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Umar bin al-Khattab told Allah's Messenger, "I became junub at night." Allah's Messenger replied, "Perform ablution after washing your private parts and then sleep." Sahih al-Bukhari 291. Narrated Hisham. As the following Hadith 290. Narrated Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "When a man sits in between the four parts of a woman and did the sexual intercourse with her, bath becomes compulsory." Sahih al-Bukhari 292. Narrated Zayd bin Khalid al-Yuhani. I asked Uthman bin Affan about a man who engaged in the sexual intercourse with his wife but did not discharge. Uthman replied, he should perform ablution like that for the prayer after washing his private parts. Uthman added, "I heard that from Allah's Messenger." I asked Ali bin Abi Talib, Az Zubair bin al-Awam, Talha bin Ubaidullah and Ubay bin Kabi, and they gave the same reply. Abu Ayyub said that he had heard that from Allah's Messenger, this order was cancelled later on, so one has to take a bath. See Hadith Number 180. Sahih al-Bukhari 293. Narrated Ubay bin Kabi. I asked Allah's Messenger about a man who engages in sexual intercourse with his wife but does not discharge. He replied, he should wash the parts which comes in contact with the private parts of the woman, perform ablution, and then pray. Abu Abdullah said, taking a bath is safer and is the last order.